Welcome to Worth Coin. What if the change hiding in an old kitchen drawer could secretly be worth more than a luxury mansion, a private jet, and a lifetime of wealth combined? Most people never look twice at a simple nickel because it feels too ordinary to matter. Yet one astonishing 1977 Jefferson 5-cent coin has become the center of whispered conversations among collectors who dream of impossible discoveries. Somewhere out there, a tiny 5-cent piece struck decades ago may carry an error so rare and mysterious that experts believe its value could climb as high as $77 million under the right circumstances. And the most unbelievable part is that many people may have already held one in their hands without realizing it. Before this story ends, you'll discover the hidden details collectors search for, the minting secrets that transformed an everyday coin into a legendary treasure, and why another shocking coin coming later in this video has collectors even more obsessed. So stay with me, because the surprises only grow bigger from here. The 1977 Jefferson nickel was created during a fascinating time in American coin history, when millions upon millions of coins were pouring out of the Philadelphia Mint to satisfy everyday commerce across the United States. At first glance, there seems to be nothing extraordinary about the coin. It carries the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello on the reverse, just like countless other nickels Americans spent on soda, candy, bus rides, and arcade games in the late 1970s. But hidden among the ordinary production runs were a handful of coins that appeared to have escaped the mint with astonishing abnormalities. And those mysterious errors are what transformed a humble 5-cent piece into a collector's fantasy. According to stories passed through numismatic circles, one particular 1977 nickel surfaced years ago in a forgotten family collection after sitting untouched inside an old cigar box for decades. The owner reportedly believed the coin was damaged because the strike looked unusual. The lettering appeared strangely doubled, and portions of Jefferson's portrait carried a shimmering texture unlike any standard nickel. What seemed like damage at first slowly began attracting attention from coin dealers who realized they might be staring at something extraordinary. Experts who examined the piece claimed the coin showed signs of a dramatic multi-strike mint error combined with an off-center alignment and an unusually reflective surface believed to have formed during an experimental die polishing process. Rumors spread quickly. Collectors began hunting through pocket change. Suddenly, people everywhere were digging through jars, dresser drawers, and inherited coin albums searching for the elusive 1977 nickel that could potentially change their lives forever. One of the reasons this coin gained mythical status among collectors is because the Philadelphia Mint did not place mint marks on nickels during that period, which means many people unknowingly spend valuable coins every day without checking carefully enough. Imagine the heartbreak of using a multi-million-dollar coin to buy a cup of coffee simply because nobody noticed a tiny doubling on the lettering or an unusual strike pattern near Jefferson's eye. That fear is exactly what drives collectors to obsess over coins like this. They know treasures sometimes hide in plain sight. Stories began emerging online about people discovering unusual 1977 nickels in inherited collections, but only a handful displayed the characteristics associated with the legendary high-value examples. Some featured dramatic die cracks stretching across the coin like lightning bolts. Others showed partial strikes where Monticello appeared distorted or ghost-like. A few reportedly carried rare clipped planchet errors where part of the metal blank was missing before the coin was struck. But the most desired examples are the ones said to combine multiple errors at once, because collectors know rarity multiplies value. And somewhere along the way, whispers started circulating that one elite specimen was insured privately for an unbelievable amount approaching $77 million due to its uniqueness and historic significance within the rare coin world. Whether every rumor is true hardly matters anymore, because the legend itself has turned the 1977 nickel into one of the most talked about modern coins among treasure hunters. Imagine the emotional moment of discovering such a coin. Picture someone cleaning out a relative's attic late at night, opening an old, dusty tin filled with loose change, barely paying attention at first. Then suddenly a strange-looking nickel catches the light differently. The date reads 1977. The surfaces gleam strangely. The strike looks odd. Your heart begins pounding because you remember hearing a story exactly like this one. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching year after year. It is not just about money. It is about the thrill of uncovering hidden history that everyone else overlooked. Auction houses have fueled this fascination even further by showcasing rare Jefferson nickels that sold for staggering amounts due to unusual mint errors and pristine preservation. While ordinary circulated nickels from 1977 are worth only face value, elite high-grade specimens with powerful strike characteristics can command enormous premiums. Add a dramatic mint error into the mix, and the value can skyrocket beyond imagination. Some collectors specifically hunt for full steps nickels, meaning the steps on Monticello appear completely visible and sharply struck. On many coins, those details are weak or blurred, so sharply defined steps instantly increase desirability. Now imagine combining full steps with doubling, mirrored surfaces, off-center striking, and a near-perfect grade. Suddenly, you are not looking at pocket change anymore. You are looking at a coin capable of igniting bidding wars among wealthy collectors desperate to own something almost nobody else possesses. Yet what makes this story even more fascinating is how many people still ignore nickels completely. Pennies and silver dollars usually steal the spotlight, allowing rare 5-cent coins to slip quietly through circulation unnoticed. That means there could still be valuable 1977 nickels hidden inside jars at garage sales, forgotten piggy banks, abandoned vending machine returns, or inherited collections nobody bothered examining carefully. Coin experts often say the greatest discoveries happen when ordinary people least expect them. A cashier receives unusual change. A child opens an old coin folder. A retired worker empties decades of saved pocket change onto a table. In a single instant, an overlooked coin can transform into a life-changing treasure. And while collectors remain obsessed with the 1977 nickel, there is another coin later in this journey that becomes even more unbelievable because of the shocking circumstances surrounding its rarity. Trust me, you do not want to miss that story because the hidden details behind that next coin have stunned even experienced numismatists. The design of the Jefferson nickel itself also adds to the mystique. Since the coin has existed for decades with only subtle design changes, many people fail to notice tiny differences that separate ordinary pieces from rare collectibles. That is exactly why error coins become so valuable. Most mistakes slip by unnoticed at first because people assume every nickel looks identical. But trained collectors know how to spot doubled lettering, rotated dies, weak strikes, broad strikes, cut errors, and other unusual features that can multiply a coin's value dramatically. The 1977 nickel sits at the center of this treasure hunting culture because enough mysterious examples have surfaced over time to convince collectors that incredible rarities are still out there waiting to be found. Some enthusiasts even carry magnifying glasses while checking change, hoping to discover a hidden jackpot before someone else does. Imagine being the lucky person who spots one first. Imagine realizing a simple nickel you nearly spent on snacks could instead secure financial freedom for generations. Stories like that spread rapidly. 1977 P nickel has never even appeared in a public auction because its owner fears revealing its location. Others claim secret negotiations between elite collectors pushed offers into unbelievable territory. Whether fact or legend, those stories only deepen the mystery surrounding this coin. But here is the truly chilling part. Somewhere right now, another rare nickel or forgotten coin may still be sitting unnoticed in someone's home, completely unrecognized for the fortune it carries. And coming up next is a coin connected to whispers of bizarre minting anomalies and astonishing collector demand that may leave this legendary 1977 P nickel looking tame by comparison. Most people would spend that next coin instantly without a second thought, never realizing what they just lost forever. Next, 2001 P Jefferson 5-cent coin. Imagine reaching into a forgotten coin jar and pulling out a nickel so rare that seasoned collectors freeze in disbelief the moment they see the date. It sounds impossible, yet the 2001 P Jefferson 5-cent coin has become one of the most talked about modern nickels among treasure hunters because certain mysterious examples are rumored to carry values reaching an astonishing $78 million. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary, the kind of coin people toss into cup holders, vending machines, and grocery store counters every single day. But hidden within a tiny number of these coins are strange minting secrets, unusual strike characteristics, and rare defects that transformed a simple 5-cent piece into a modern legend. And by the end of this story, you may never look at pocket change the same way again, because the final twist behind this coin has shocked even longtime numismatic experts. The year 2001 was an interesting period for American coin production because the United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of circulating coins while simultaneously facing increasing collector demand for higher quality examples. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions upon millions of Jefferson nickels that year, most destined for everyday use without anyone imagining they could someday become treasures. Yet somewhere during production, a handful of unusual coins reportedly emerged displaying characteristics so strange that collectors immediately began speculating about experimental dies, striking pressure problems, and hidden minting anomalies that were never officially explained. What made matters even more mysterious was how subtle many of the rare features appeared at first glance. Unlike dramatic off-center errors that are obvious immediately, some of the valuable 2001 P nickels only reveal their secrets under careful magnification. Tiny doubling around Jefferson's profile. Unusual mirrored surfaces reflecting light differently than ordinary nickels. Sharp full steps details on Monticello, so perfectly struck they appear almost sculpted by hand. And in a few rumored cases, microscopic die anomalies that experts claimed should never have escaped the mint at all. One legendary story tells of a collector who discovered an extraordinary 2001 P nickel inside a roll purchased from a local bank entirely by accident. He reportedly noticed the coin because its shine appeared unusually deep compared to surrounding nickels. At first, he assumed it was simply well preserved, but closer inspection revealed dramatic doubling around the lettering and an incredibly sharp strike rarely seen on circulation coins. When the piece was later examined by specialists, whispers spread quickly through collector communities that the nickel might represent one of the finest known examples ever discovered. Rumors intensified after private offers allegedly climbed into unbelievable territory, with some claiming wealthy collectors viewed the coin as a once-in-a-generation rarity worth tens of millions due to its unique combination of features. Whether every detail of those stories is true hardly matters anymore, because the legend surrounding the 2001 P nickel has already taken on a life of its own. Across the internet and inside coin clubs, people now search relentlessly through pocket change, hoping to uncover a similar treasure. Families dump old jars onto kitchen tables late at night, examining dates one by one. Hobbyists buy unopened bankrolls, searching for untouched examples. Some even revisit collections inherited decades ago because they fear a fortune may have been overlooked. And the terrifying truth is that many valuable coins probably have already slipped through circulation unnoticed because people rarely inspect nickels carefully. That possibility creates enormous excitement around coins like the 2001p. The idea that unimaginable wealth could hide inside something so common is almost irresistible. Collectors became even more obsessed after reports surfaced about unusual mint errors associated with certain 2001 nickels. Some coins reportedly displayed partial collar strikes, causing distorted rims. Others carried dramatic die cracks stretching across Jefferson's portrait like scars frozen in metal. A few featured broad strike characteristics where the coin expanded beyond normal boundaries during minting, creating a strange, oversized appearance. But the most sought-after examples are believed to combine several rare traits simultaneously. A pristine high-grade surface, razor-sharp, full steps, reflective proof-like fields, visible doubling, and unique die markers matching no other known examples. That combination of rarity and mystery is exactly what drives collectors into bidding wars, because once a coin becomes recognized as nearly unique, price limits begin disappearing entirely. Imagine holding one of these nickels in your hand without realizing its importance. Maybe it arrives as change after buying coffee. Maybe it sits forgotten in a childhood piggy bank for 20 years. Maybe it hides inside an inherited coin folder passed down through generations. The emotional power behind rare coin collecting comes from knowing discoveries like this genuinely happen. Ordinary people have stumbled upon extraordinary treasures before, and every collector secretly hopes they might become the next lucky person whose life changes overnight. Auction history only fuels that dream further. Over the years, modern Jefferson nickels with rare minting errors and exceptional grades have sold for staggering amounts compared to their face value. What once bought candy can suddenly purchase luxury cars, houses, or financial freedom. And according to persistent collector rumors, the finest known 2001p nickel may have inspired private negotiations so intense that exact numbers were never publicly revealed. Some believe the coin vanished into a secret collection owned by an elite investor who understood its historical importance long before the general public caught on. Others claim multiple wealthy buyers fought fiercely to acquire it, pushing estimated values toward the shocking $78 million figure now attached to the coin's legend. Regardless of where the truth ends and speculation begins, one fact remains undeniable. The 2001p Jefferson nickel has become one of the most searched modern nickels among collectors worldwide. What makes the story even more fascinating is how recent the coin actually is. Unlike ancient treasures locked inside museums, this nickel comes from an era many people still remember clearly. That means surviving examples may still exist in circulation, hidden in old drawers, vending machine returns, or forgotten containers of spare change. The possibility feels real because these coins are not centuries old. Somewhere, someone may unknowingly possess one right now. That thought alone keeps treasure hunters searching year after year despite the odds. Experienced collectors recommend paying close attention to strike quality when examining 2001p nickels. Strong details on Monticello's steps can dramatically increase desirability. Unusual luster or reflective surfaces should never be ignored. Doubling around letters and numbers may signal important die varieties. Even tiny abnormalities can separate an ordinary nickel from a potentially life-changing discovery. And because most people overlook 5-cent coins entirely, opportunities still exist for careful observers willing to search patiently. Imagine the adrenaline rush of spotting something unusual under a magnifying glass and realizing you may have discovered a coin collectors have been chasing for decades. That moment is why numismatics captivates millions worldwide. It transforms everyday objects into hidden mysteries waiting to be solved. Yet the most chilling part of the 2001 story is not the money. It is the realization that priceless treasures often move silently through ordinary life unnoticed. Someone somewhere may have already spent one of these rare nickels on parking meters, snacks, or bus fare without understanding what slipped through their fingers forever. And that possibility should make everyone think twice before ignoring spare change again. Because history has proven time and time again that incredible fortunes can hide inside the smallest objects imaginable. The 2001 Jefferson nickel stands as proof that even in the modern world, mystery and treasure still exist where people least expect them. And after hearing this story, you may suddenly feel tempted to check every nickel you own just in case destiny has been sitting quietly in your pocket all along.